Hello, dear students of grade 5, my best students in the school. Today, inshallah, we will complete our lesson about erosion and deposition. Of course, erosion is moving away the particles and deposition is putting them down or laying them down again. Today, we will know the reasons of erosion and deposition. Of course, the water, wind, glaciers, those are common things that cause erosion, but we will study them in details today. Number one, the water. The water in forms of rivers, rain, or other forms cause erosion, especially rivers. Well, let's watch this video and get back to our lesson.
The movement of materials away from a place is called erosion. Erosion can be a destructive process that can happen because of gravity, earthquakes, and heavy rains. Moving water is one cause of erosion. Gravity causes rivers to flow, and as they move, they pick up pieces of rock, soil, and sand. Rain can cause flooding, which damages soil, roads, and buildings. Rain can also loosen sediment from the soil and carry it away. Another form of water erosion is when waves hit against rocks and break them up. Another type of erosion is caused by the wind blowing dust, soil.
We will stop here and we will get back to our lesson. We are going to study only the water today. Of course, as you see in the picture, the rivers. Rivers flows down hills, of course. They pick up and carry sediments with them, such as rock, soil, and sand. Yes, what about a fast-flowing river? Of course, it can form valleys. Slow rivers can looping bends. It makes some curves in the land. And the deposited material forms river and forms area that's called deltas, such as the Nile River in Egypt. Look at this question here. What is the conclusion that you can draw about the speed of moving water? Of course, it can form valleys or V-shaped valleys and deltas. The second reason of the water erosion is the rain. The rain, of course, flows down and carries a lot of particles together and move it to another places. But the most damage happens to the farmers. Farmers can prevent soil erosion by blowing furrows perpendicular to the field's slope to allow the water to go without scratching or moving up the soil particles. The furrows catch rainwater, keeping the rain from carrying the soil away. So it makes ways for the water to go down hills. As you see for question number 3 here, what is the cause and the effect that on the rain underline the effect of the rainwater flowing over bare farm fields? Very well. Rain causes flooding in low flat areas, and these floodings damage soil, roads, and buildings. And what we were asking for is the fields. Of course, the rainwater over bare farm fields on slopes can erode tons of soil and deposit it downhill. It moves the soil from the upper parts to the down parts of hills or mountains and so on. So the farmers use the perpendicular furrows to prevent this from happening. Number 3 is the waves. Of course, the waves cause erosion also. The waves of the sea or oceans move sand particles from a place to another. Of course, it causes erosion to the rocks because the sand and the gravels in the waves act like sandpaper. It scratches the rocks. So storms, tide, and currents can erode beaches. And also grasses and plants can help preventing this erosion. Yes, very well. Let's watch this.
Sand dunes. In this video, we're going to talk about recognizing how landforms like deltas, canyons, and sand dunes form. It's important to know how deltas, sand dunes, and canyons form so we can understand the various forces that change Earth's surface. Wind, water, and ice can all change Earth's surface in many different ways. Let's take a look at one example of how water changes Earth's surface. A canyon is a deep cut in Earth's surface with tall sides and relatively narrow floor. One of the largest canyons in the world is the Grand Canyon. Canyons are formed over many years by rivers eroding Earth's surface, like this. We can see that as the water travels down the sand, it erodes the sand in the path it was flowing. This is similar to the effect of a river on Earth's surface. And after many years of erosion, a canyon can be formed. Another example of how water can change Earth's surface is a land formation called a delta. The Nueces River flows across southeastern Texas and empties into the Gulf of Mexico. As rivers like the Nueces empty into larger bodies of water, they deposit the sediment that they were carrying and a delta forms. All the land you see in a delta was eroded from upstream along the path of the river and carried downstream to make the delta. Sand dunes are another example of how a natural force can change Earth's surface.
As you hear, by the way, canyons is the equal meaning of valleys. So, after this, we will study glaciers. Of course, the gravity pulls glaciers down along a valley. As this movement happened, the glaciers grind rocks. It caused erosion to the rocks beneath them into sediments, small particles of sand and rocks. And the glacier deposits sediments downhill. It moves these particles downhill and causes erosion for them. Year after year, as you see in the front picture, it becomes in the shape of U shape. So it makes some valleys, and of course it melts in summer, so it causes also erosion by water. Now with question number 4, you're going to find that he is asking about why might it have taken many years for glaciers to form U-shaped valley? Yes, of course, because of the slow erosion of the glaciers to form these U-shaped valleys. And now, as we know that the erosion and deposition has many reasons, one of them glacier, and one of them wind, the other is waves and rivers. Of course, a lot of them is caused by water, even frozen or in liquid state. Very good. Thanks so much. This is everything for today. See you next time. Bye.